Loading and unloading cargo poses hazards related to overhead loads, lifting gear, and cargo handling equipment such as forklifts and trucks. No unauthorized personnel should be allowed to enter the cargo handling area. On ro-ro ships, car carriers, or ferries, driving ramps represent high hazard areas that should be avoided by non-essential personnel. Personnel performing cargo handling operations aboard tankers, chemical carriers, and gas carriers must have specialized training in managing fire, toxic, and pollution hazards. Aboard passenger ships that carry cargo, all personnel, including galley, housekeeping, and service staff, must have training in crisis management and crowd control.
Give it to him. Hands up!
Mooring operations present hazards related to line handling and the extreme forces placed on mooring lines and fastenings. These dangers are magnified in adverse weather conditions or strong tidal currents. Lines and line handling gear must be maintained in good condition prior to the mooring operation. Personnel should stay out of the bite of lines or wires and stand clear of running rigging. Lines under tension can kill. Pinching hazards are extreme where lines pass through chocks or around bollards. Tasks that require lifting and pulling pose hazards to your back. Learn proper lifting and pulling techniques and practice good posture and body mechanics even if the job takes a moment longer.
Do you have any questions?
Consider using a back brace, but be advised that these devices don't make you stronger or enable you to disregard proper lifting and pulling techniques. If the load is too heavy or too big, use a lifting appliance or get help. Interior spaces also pose hazards, and you must be equally careful as you move around living and working areas. Use grab rails and handholds, especially in a seaway. Practice good housekeeping in accommodation spaces, good hygiene in the head, and good sanitation in the galley. Make sure gear or garbage is properly stowed and clean up spills. If you see a safety hazard that can't be corrected immediately,
Hey, mate?
Yeah.
I got a problem here.
report it to your supervisor.
Did you shut off the hydrant?
Be advised access to areas like the engine room or the bridge may be restricted. Don't enter spaces you aren't authorized for. If you are assigned to sensitive areas, observe whatever special rules apply to those spaces. Be sure you're familiar with all escape routes from interior spaces. Engine rooms, deck tunnels, and duct keels usually have escape trunks that lead to the main deck. Other spaces, including your stateroom door, may have kick plates that provide emergency escape routes. Pollution and waste threaten water quality, shoreline habitats, and marine life. Causes of pollution include strandings and collisions, lightering operations, improper garbage and sewage disposal, tank cleaning, washing, and line flushing, chemical disposal, and deballasting. Preventing pollution and environmental damage is every seaman's responsibility. Annex 1 of the International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, or MARPOL, requires your ship to meet construction standards and to observe procedures intended to minimize accidental or operational discharges of oil. Annex 5 regulates the management of garbage. It's your responsibility to understand these regulations and to practice good stewardship of the marine environment. Report spills or hazardous conditions immediately. You're responsible for learning the proper use of spill containment systems and absorbent materials, and for participating in pollution prevention drills. Placards posted aboard your vessel describe regulations for disposal of garbage. You're required to learn and follow the rules.
Okay, steady. Steady. 294.
The safe operation of a ship depends upon a chain of command that extends from the captain through deck, engine, and steward's departments. The chain of command, in turn, depends upon good communication.
Bridge says spring lines first. Spring lines? Yes.
Because many shipboard operations are large and complex, requiring the coordinated actions of multiple crew members, it is critical that you be capable of understanding orders and of communicating clearly with your crewmates. Your captain and your supervisors rely upon the prompt and professional execution of the orders you've been given.
070.
070. Hi, I'm Rafita Keys, the new AB, and I'm here to relieve you.
I'm John. Nice
During routine operations, effective communication promotes cooperation and improves crew relations.
We got a ship off the starboard beam.
Skipper, we have a Class Alpha fire on the port side.
In extreme
Advancing on
circumstances,
into the space.
the ability to communicate quickly and clearly is an essential survival skill. You must speak and understand the English language.
Red, second mate.
You must learn and utilize the standard shipboard terminology
Chief, I see a ship 2 points to port.
that enables seamen to communicate in a precise and commonly understood manner.
Hi, Cam.
Good communication requires an effort on the part of the sender and a willingness to listen on the part of the receiver. The close confines, the challenging conditions, and the extended periods aboard ship faced by seamen make it especially important to maintain good human and working relationships.
Hi, mate.
Oh, hi, Rafita.
Good relationships make the life of all seafarers more comfortable, more healthy, and less prone to accidents.
Oh, it was great. I met
A positive attitude and a smile can be critical elements in maintaining good crew relations. Simple courtesies like a greeting or a thank you
Thanks, Paul.
make shipboard life more bearable. It's important to practice these social skills during both on-duty and off-duty hours. Promoting good crew relations begins with the example set by senior officers. It depends on valuing diversity and on the fairness with which everyone is treated. Aboard ship, every crew member should be treated with respect and dignity, and the onboard workplace must be free from harassment and discrimination. No crew member can be permitted to engage in verbal, physical, racial, or sexual harassment.
Hey, babe.
Oh, don't touch me.
Sorry, I didn't mean it.
Because the onboard workplace is comprised of human beings, there is no way to ensure that there will never be friction between employees of different genders or different racial and cultural backgrounds.
Mate, could I have a word with you?
Sure, Rafita. Come on in.
I have a really big problem.
What every vessel operator must guarantee, however, is that if problems arise, there are mechanisms in place to resolve them quickly and fairly. Commercial ships are equal opportunity employers that hire, train, and promote employees without regard to race, color, religion, national origin, age, gender, marital or veteran status, and physical or mental disability.
Mate might touch me in a very inappropriate way.
If you have a problem with a shipmate, you have the right to ask your supervisor for help in resolving the issue. If your problem lies with a supervisor, you have the right to bring the matter to the attention of your captain, your company's human resources department, your union representative, or the U.S. Coast Guard.
I'm going to talk to the captain. I'm going to have a talk with Mike and straighten him out, because this is just totally inappropriate. Then I'll get back to you and talk to you some more about this.
Each vessel officer is responsible for understanding and supporting harassment-free workplace policies, and each is expected to demonstrate respectful behavior at all times.
I'm real glad that you came and told me.
If allegations of harassment or discrimination arise, supervisors are required to take the complaints seriously, to investigate them, and to take appropriate steps to stop the offending behavior. It can be difficult to make a complaint about discrimination or harassment aboard the vessel where you live and work, but shipboard policy strictly prohibits any form of retaliation against individuals making complaints or cooperating with an investigation. Harassment includes comments, gestures, or hostile acts meant to degrade an individual because of race, color, sex, national origin, religion, sexual orientation, veteran, or marital status. Unwelcome sexual advances or requests for sexual favors are prohibited. Sexually explicit pictures, cartoons, and even offensive looks or gestures can create an offensive work environment. What seems like playful adult humor to one may be intimidating or harassing to someone else. Anyone who feels threatened or offended should report the problem immediately. Every crew member has a role in ensuring that the onboard workplace is free from harassment and discrimination. Supervisors are expected to model respectful behavior, to take complaints seriously, to investigate complaints with the assistance of the Human Resources Department, and to protect employees against retaliation. The safe operation of ships demands that the onboard workplace be drug and alcohol free. The use of drugs or alcohol impairs judgment, speech, motor control, and emotional stability.
Hello, Joe. Yeah, we have a list here from the office of individuals who need to be tested for a random drug test. We'll start with Mike Brown, okay?
You'll be required to undergo drug and alcohol testing before you're hired, and you're subject to random testing or searches at any time. Violation of your company's zero-tolerance policy with respect to drugs and alcohol represents grounds for immediate termination and the revocation of your license. If drug and alcohol use are determined to have been factors in an accident or emergency for which you're at fault, you may be subject to criminal prosecution. If you require prescription medications, you must have a valid prescription signed by a physician. Shipboard life can be dangerous, tedious, and stressful. Your own safety, as well as the safety of others, is your responsibility. Living, working, and interacting together aboard ship requires a professional and respectful attitude among all crew members. Remember, your shipmates are depending on you.